Good morning, Patriots. This is Mike Cook coming to you live from Central Missouri. It is Thursday morning, 5/13/2021 at approximately 8:30 a.m. How are you today? As you're jumping on, say hi. Where are you watching from? I do appreciate everybody that does hop on and say hi to me. It kind of gets lonely on here talking to myself in my little room with my little green screen and my People's Republic of America flag behind me. The flag will come down when Fojo and the Ho leave the White House. And if you don't like me calling them that, maybe you should look into it a little bit. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I hope you're having a blessed day. It's beautiful here in Central Missouri. As usual, this time of year, they're calling for rain this weekend, but we got to take the good with the bad. I know the farmers are out putting the corn and the beans in the field as quickly as possible, trying to get that ahead of the game, but that's just kind of the way it works. As you're jumping on, do me a favor. Go over when you get done watching me to Rumble. Find me on there and follow me. Put me in your favorites. It's a great place to watch the rerun or share it with your friends. If you're watching me right now on YouTube, like, comment, hit the thumbs up, comment on the video. Let me know you're watching. And subscribe and ring the bell. More people are now watching me on YouTube than on Facebook, which is a change. That's cool. If you're watching me on Facebook, do me a favor. Go drop out and go to my profile and follow me or send me a friend request, whichever. If you've got your security settings real high, then I probably won't friend you back because I can't tell you if you're real. And I get a lot of fake ones. So also like and comment on this video, share this video. Facebook won't share this video for some reason. They don't like me, but that's okay. I don't like them either. I'm only playing on the enemy's playground because that's where it is right now. That may change in the near future. We'll see what happens. Also, I'm on Telegram. All of my videos and stuff that I use in my show, I post onto my Telegram page. You can go check it out for yourself. You can also follow the links of where I share them from so that you can see who I'm following, and this would allow you to follow those that I follow and make your own decision. I'm not about deciding for you or anything like that. That's not what I do. That's not how I work. I'm about putting information out there so that you can make your own informed decision. You see, if you want to listen to what I have to say and then go over and watch MSNBC, CNN, and Fox News and say, well, Mike, you're an idiot because they're not saying what you're saying, that's fine. You've made an educated decision based upon all the available information that you could gather or were willing to gather. And that's okay with me. I don't have a problem with that. I just posted in the comments my Telegram page, the link to it. So go download the Telegram app on your phone or on your computer. And on your computer, just go to telegram.com and download it straight onto your computer for whatever operating system you have. It does not work through a web browser. You got to go and download the actual program. So, and once you do that, hit the link. It'll take you right to my page. Down at the bottom, there's a little join button. Hit the join button. And then mute it, because every time I post something, your phone will ring or your computer will send you a notification. So go ahead and mute it so it doesn't drive you nuts. That's what I do. Then you can go back and check it from time to time and see what's happening. See what I'm thinking about, see what I'm setting up. So as you're jumping on, say hi. I do appreciate everybody out there. People are starting to log on. So let's get moving on here. We're going to start with this little message about Bill Gates and the word we cannot say, the V word, and it's not for vendetta.
About the conspiracy with Bill Gates?
No, what happened with that?
Okay, look, so we started COVID-19. We can make the vaccine and make trillions of dollars.
No. Sound like something he would do with his goofy, ugly ass.
I like Bill Gates. Bill's really kind. Bill's really smart. Bill Gates is single and available now. Bill's really generous. Bill's amazing. I like Bill Gates. I would kiss him in a boat. I would kiss him on a float. I would kiss him in the rain. I would kiss him in the dark.
Bill.
So evidently she got the Bill Gates vaccine, and as always, it froze up. Just like Windows. So Bill Gates has been in the news lately. Evidently, he's got some issues. The media is starting to pound on him about some of the conspiracies. They keep mentioning his name and Epstein, talking about how maybe he was a frequent visitor to some of Epstein's facilities. And I think this is because they don't want to talk about some of the other things, like, I don't know, Joe Biden's a failing economy, maybe Hunter Biden's laptop, maybe the 30,000 missing emails that's never been talked about in Hillary Clinton, maybe Uma's and Wiener's laptop, or maybe they don't want to talk about some of the other stuff that's happening behind the scenes right now. So they're throwing Bill Gates under the bus. And here's a little news article from OAN that's talking about what's happening with Bill Gates.
Bill Gates appears to be falling out of favor with mainstream media amid claims of his ties to sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein. Reports on Monday found that almost every major media outlet has reported about the Gates-Epstein connection and its potential implications. Now, the media has not been reporting on the reports of Hunter Biden's alleged corruption and depravity. Now, this also as Gates has often been the subject of controversy, especially regarding the work of his international organization, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and remarks that he's made implying that he wishes to reduce the world's population.
The world today has 6.8 billion people. That's headed up to about 9 billion. Now, if we do a really great job on new vaccines, healthcare, reproductive health services, we could lower that by perhaps 10 or 15%.
The media's criticism of Bill Gates also comes despite the efforts to manipulate narratives by the Gates Foundation, as revealed by the Columbia Journalism Review. Still ahead.
So they're even throwing Bill Gates, they're even throwing the fact that they manipulate narratives. The media does. They're throwing that under the bus. And all the money that Bill Gates spends to manipulate the narrative. They're throwing everything under the bus right now. But what are they trying to hide? What's in the background that they don't want you to know? That's the important question here. That's what most people, they keep chasing whatever the media is throwing at them, but they're missing what's the sleight of hand over here. Because there's a whole lot going on with this vaccine stuff, with the gas prices stuff, with the war in the Middle East with Israel and Hamas. Where'd the money come from? I mean, for Hamas. Who's funding that war? You are. We are. We're funding that war. Well, what do you mean, Mike? We give Hamas money, billions and billions and billions of dollars in financial aid. And then, of course, we gave billions and billions of dollars in pallets of cash to Iran, who supports and funds and created and orders Hamas to do what they do, and the Palestinian Authority. We also give money to Israel. So we're funding both sides of this. Isn't that interesting? It's amazing how the deep state works, isn't it? How they tend to manipulate things as they go along. And I wonder what Bill Gates has to do with all this. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe they're just trying to cover things up, so to speak. I'm trying to find where I'm supposed to be at. I can't find my videos. So I've got this other little video that I missed it. I apologize. I'm out of orders today. I put this together and I messed it up. So here's a young gal. Since we're talking about the Bill Gates and his little conspiracy theories about depopulation, about if we just work hard with our vaccines. Here's a little lady. She's got her opinion on it.
There's too much virtue signaling going on and not enough virtue. I am so tired of people shoving the shot and face coverings down our throats. Stop using your platforms to install fear. The lack of respect for people that choose to not be an experiment or choose to not smother themselves with a face diaper coming from people that promote my body, my choice is astounding. If I had to choose between getting the shot and jumping out of a plane without a parachute, I'd say gas that plane up, baby. No one is telling you can't mask up. No one is telling you can't get the Fauci ouchie, so stop demanding me to. If you're still scared, stay 6 feet away. Life's too short to live my life the way you want me to in order to make you feel comfortable. It's been over a year. I'm not responsible for your fears. I'm going to trust my immune system and allow my body to do its job while you stuff your face with free donuts for getting a shot in order to be healthy. That sounds like a bigger issue. I'm tired of being lectured about caring for others by people that wish me dead in the same sentence. It's not my job to make you comfortable, and it's not my job to keep you healthy. Stay out of my business.
She said the Fauci ouchie. I just caught that. I'm going to steal it. That's my term from now. The Fauci ouchie. I've watched this video like 10 times and I just totally missed that. That is excellent. So, these millennials, these young 20-somethings are catching on to the idea of my body, my choice. Don't I have the right to my body, my choice? I guess if you're killing babies, it's your body, your choice. But if you decide whether or not you want to get the Fauci ouchie, well, that's not your choice. You see, because that affects other people. Killing your baby doesn't affect, well, I guess it would affect the baby now, wouldn't it? Oh, but it's just a lump of tissues. Yeah, and the shot is just a vaccine. Huh. We'll see about that. They can't tell you the truth in anything, ever. It's all a narrative. It's all a lie. Everything they tell you is untrue. Everything they tell you is just a means to manipulate you. If you turn on the MSM, you're feeling your brain. In fact, if you turn on anything, it's all these shows I'm watching right now. I just want to get away from it. And of course, I haven't been gone, so I haven't turned it on in a week. But I get on my, I get on there and I stream 24, the old Keith Sutherland's 24, pretty good show. And it's been a long time since I watched it. And I'm watching them in the middle of the second season. And in the second season, there is a nuclear weapon. Some terrorists have smuggled in some nuclear weapons into the United States, and they want to detonate it over LA. And it turns out, as Keith Sutherland's character saves the day and gets the bomb out into the desert where it doesn't cause a lot of damage, that a conspiracy arises, that there was a deep state inner plot to start a war with certain Middle Eastern countries that they were going to blame this nuclear bomb on so that they can profit off the war effort, because there hasn't been a war in a while and people's coffers are getting weak. And this conspiracy was involving high-level people in all branches of the government, and they're now trying to take out the current president using the 25th Amendment because he's not going along with it. And I'm watching this going, gee whiz. Is that not prophetic to where we are today? So anyways, I don't know why I chased that tangent, but there we are. So here's this guy's explanation of why you probably shouldn't worry about the Fauci ouchie and how we have been misled with the narrative of this virus. So I almost hit the wrong button, hit the remove button. That wouldn't work. Go ahead and watch this.
Hey guys, I'm going to try to put the numbers in perspective here using pennies. Okay, here we go. We have 8,000 pennies here. Now, these pennies are going to represent the world's population of almost 8 billion. Let's try to visualize what 10% of the world's population would look like. Okay, now let's see what 1% of the world's population looks like. So we've got 8,880. That's 1% of the world's population. Okay, now let's see what 1/10 of 1% of the world's population looks like. 1/10 of 1% of the world. Now in 2020, roughly 60 million people died, represented by these 60 pennies right here. Guess how many of these 60 pennies, even if we go by their numbers, guess how many of these 60 pennies were from the thing that we're not allowed to talk about right now? The thing that's changed the entire world. Roughly 2. Guess what the average age of these 2 pennies are? Right around 80 years old. The media never once tried to put any of this in perspective to you. We've had to change up the way all of these 8,000 pennies have to live their lives. Two pennies. Average age around 80. So now all the kids, all the people, think the businesses, everything that was destroyed over this, changing our way of life, everything. Think about that. Is this adding up? Does this make sense? For these 2 pennies, these, all 8,000 of these have their lives completely turned upside down. And now we have to start injecting stuff. Does that seem right? Does that seem normal? I don't think so. And having your kids go through all this stuff, and any parent that's still allowing their kids to put one of those things on their face, you better think twice, because the damage you're doing to them right now and making them feel like that's normal. We all have a right to openly breathe. We all have a right to live our lives in a normal way. Don't buy into what the media is selling, because the media will never put it this way, because there's a bigger thing at hand right now. I hope this helped maybe put things in perspective.
See, if you just change your perspective a little bit, if you just think about the situation, when they throw all these numbers out, oh, it's scary. Oh, millions and millions and millions. Well, maybe not millions and millions. Maybe just thousands and thousands of people are going to die. There's so many people dying that we have to park a reefer van in front of the hospital in New York, in the front, not in the back where the loading docks are, in the front so the cameras can see it. And we have to get a forklift to run out the front door of the hospital, and with one covered up, looks like a body, and put it kind of sort of in the reefer van, because we have to have the appearance that there's so many people dying. Why didn't they have the reefer van around back where the loading docks were? Why did they have it out front where the camera was? Do you remember all that? This time last year? That's what they're doing in India right now. The new variant strain in India coming, killing bazillions of people. Here, you lay down there, you lay down there, you lay down there. Don't wiggle. I've got the camera on you. Don't wiggle. We want to see you breathe. Just like there was citizen journalists this time last year going around the country into hospitals and walking into the emergency room saying, where's all the dead bodies? They're doing that in India too. Do you know that? So when you hear this new strain coming, go to my Telegram page, take a look. They're already talking about that there's a new strain that's resistant to the vaccines. what are we going to do? We're going to have to shut everything down again. But then again, we may not have to shut everything down because we're doing a good enough job of shutting it all down anyway as the economy falters. And we're going to talk about that in just a second. Because the economy is teetering on the brink. But first, old Tucker Carlson, he got to talking about some of the misdirections and lies and narrative changes that we're getting right now about this Fauci ouchie. I like that word.
What exactly are we watching here? We're watching the crudest kind of propaganda designed by the cynical for the benefit of a population they consider stupid and weak and malleable. And it's not just Kamala Harris. Everyone is in on it, even the corporate comedians. Watch this buffoon do what we assume is an unpaid ad for Moderna.
Oh, but you read something on Facebook?
Your friend from high school who sells jewelry, she posted it?
The one who's 53 and still builds dollhouses?
You heard what? On whose podcast?
Is he a doctor? No. Scientist? No. Can he name one of the ingredients in the vaccine?
Can he point to his gabella?
Then tell him to shut the up. The doorbell's right here.
Get the vaccine.
Just get the vaccine. Grow the up and get the vaccine.
And tell your friend on Facebook to stick to jewelry.
It doesn't make you laugh. It makes you nervous. Why are they talking to you that way? Why are they giving you the finger on TV? No matter how many fingers they give you, it doesn't change what remains true for the country. If American citizens are going to be forced to take this vaccine or any other medicine, they have an absolute right to know what it is and what its effects might be. And they have an absolute right to ask that question without being silenced or censored or mocked or given the finger. And no amount of happy talk or coercion or appeals to false patriotism can change that, period.
So you got these folks on there, got their little stethoscopes and their little lab coats, but they're all actors. They play doctors on TV telling you to get the vaccine. Only they used one finger instead of two. They must really disrespect you. These people who make their living off of you. You don't watch their shows, they don't get paid because they can't sell advertising to a bunch of chemical-laced products that you consume. I'm not against capitalism. I'm not against advertising. I'm not against personal choice. If you want to get the Fauci ouchie, if you want to wear triple masks and a shield and goggles and Mach 4 gear, go for it. God bless you. It's America. Come on, man. Do what you want to do. I don't care. But don't sit here and tell me I have to because you're scared. I'm not gonna. In fact, I don't really care if you're scared. In fact, I don't really care if your feelings are hurt. Don't affect me none. Go away. That's the way I feel about it. So we got all of this happening, this manipulation, these lies. This whole year has been nothing but we're working on 2 years now. Or is it 20? Or is it my entire lifetime? Has been nothing but one big entire lie. And the only person to come along and do anything about it was Trump. Publicly, anyways. We seem to be, we're in a time of, I think we're about to see, I think we're right there right now. There goes all my clocks. We're right there right now where the information is about to fall. The narrative is unraveling out of their control. Unemployment is disastrous. Inflation is through the roof. It is, they don't count it anymore. They're lying to you when they say, oh, there's no inflation. It's only 1 or 2 or 3%. No, it ain't, my friend. Have you went to the grocery store lately? Oh, yeah, but we don't count groceries. Have you went to the lumber yard rate? Oh, we don't count lumber. Have you bought gasoline lately? But we don't count that either. Have you bought cars lately? Oh, we don't count that either. Inflation's through the roof. And they don't know what to do. They're at a loss. These experts, these modern monetary theory experts are at a loss. Their only solution will be to print more money, which is the very, very last thing they should do, because that's just going to add to it, i.e. Zimbabwe.
Hugely disappointing.
So take a look at this video right here as they talk about their hugely disappointing numbers. They're disappointed.
A hugely disappointing number.
The unemployment rate went up.
Manufacturing employment actually edged down.
Women had a net job loss.
We did not see the big hiring frenzy that we had expected.
We also saw job losses in motor vehicles and parts down 27,000 as well.
266,000 jobs were added in April. Economists expected 1 million new jobs last month.
Temporary help declined by 111,000.
The unemployment rate ticked up. It's a real disappointment.
It's a real disappointment. It's a real disappointment. What do you expect when you're paying $600 to $1,000 a month, a week, to sit on your asses at home with your unemployment because of the COVID? Every place, every single business in the town I'm in, every one of them is hiring. From the little tiny small shops to the construction guys, the roofing guys, to the fast food restaurants, to the major industry. Everybody is hiring right now. And they are hiring anybody they can get their hands on that will do the work. But why should you go to work when you can sit on your ass and get $1,000, $600 to $1,000, depending on the state you live in, a week? A week. That's why our economy's failing, because somebody has to produce that money. And if nobody's producing it, just jump on the stinking bandwagon and ride, lay sideways in the public trough and lap the water. Why don't we all join in on the gravy train? We all can just quit what we're doing, get the $600 a month or $1,000, 600 a week or 1,000 a week, and we can all enjoy the easy life. I'd like to get back into playing Xbox when I was a younger man or a kid, like when I was in the military. I ain't got time. I got all these mouths to feed and everybody else playing the damn Xbox. I'd like to watch Netflix and chill for days and days and days on end, but I don't have time. I know what we need to do. We need universal basic income, says Elizabeth Warren and Lashib Tlaib. A faux American and a faux Indian. Because that will solve everybody's problem if we just give everybody an income. Where is it coming from? The magic income fairy? Do you understand basic economics? Somebody has to produce it somewhere. Government produces nothing. They are a net drain on society. Oh, but they build roads and bridges and schools. And do you know that there was roads and bridges and schools before the government did it? How'd they get there? People are running out of gas on the East Coast. And the reason they're running out of gas, because government, that's why. Because they won't allow them to build refineries on the East Coast, so they got to pipe it in, which made it vulnerable to a cyber attack, which shut it down. And now the gas stations are running out of gas. Entrepreneurs, people with I was talking to a buddy of mine. I said, how much gas can you carry in your truck? He's got an extra tank in the truck. He says, I can carry 400 gallons. I said, wouldn't it behoove you to take a couple days off of work fill that thing up with 400 gallons and drive out to North Carolina and sell it for $20 a gallon? Oh, but that would be price gouging and wrong. Not to the guy that doesn't have any gas, because there's none to have. Capitalism takes care of the problem. And if every redneck hillbilly from the Midwest loaded up their trucks with 400 gallons of gasoline because they thought they could make a buck by driving to North Carolina, well, by golly, the price would go down, wouldn't it? Because there'd be competition. Oh, but they're not regulated. Yes, because government needs to get in there and mess it up. I was going to use a different word. Ended in up. Our economy is going to hell in a handbasket for no other. I mean, every business is hiring right now, but they can't get the workers to produce the products. And they can't get the parts because the companies aren't producing the products to make the parts, so they can't make what they need. And we're also in an economic warfare or straight up warfare with a foreign country, China. And we can't get parts from them that we need because we've outsourced everything from this country. And therefore, we can't produce the things that we need in this country any longer because of government policy. It's government that's the problem. Ronald Reagan says that if somebody creates something and it's successful, and I'm paraphrasing, government comes along and tax it. And if it's still moving and still profitable, they regulate it. And once they get it to slow down and stop because of the high taxes and the high regulations, they subsidize it so that it doesn't fail. It's time for the tree of liberty to get watered again. Got on a little rant there. And I lost my place. I'm not a highly trained broadcast expert like Rush Limbaugh. I am an amateur at best. So Trump had something to say about gas prices, about this kind of stuff, way back when. And it's kind of, Trump had a way of kind of predicting the way things would turn out. You ever notice that? That he kind of, every time Trump says something, the media would bash him and it turned out to be true. How many times has that happened, really? So here's Donald Trump a few years back talking about what will happen to gas prices.
Gas prices, you like that $2 gas, right? How about $5, $6, and $7? Darling, let's sell the car. It's a little bit too large. Let's get a compact. Biden's plan is an economic death sentence.
Biden's plan is an economic death sentence. They can't understand. They were supposed to produce 1 million jobs in April. They said so. Did you ever hear them say that? How many times were these so-called experts shocked, I tell you, shocked. Donald Trump's jobs report is shocking, shocked. We're just shocked all over the place. The media is just shocked. The experts are just shocked. They can't believe how this is working out. How's Donald Trump not destroying the economy with all these crazy ideas he has? I mean, if government's not involved, it's all going to fail. These capitalists will just steal everything. They'll take all their greedy money and go away. No, capitalists like to take their greedy money and make more greedy money. And you know how they make more greedy money? They hire people to make things and sell them. And then when they make more greedy money because they sold their stuff, they hire more people to make more things to sell them to make more money. That's what they do because they're greedy. And the people working for them, they're greedy too. Because you know what they would not do? Show up if they didn't get paid. So they're getting paid to stay home. So now they're not showing up. Imagine that. But these people are shocked. They don't understand. How come that the jobs are, we spent all this money to bolster the economy. We got to bail out the economy. We got to subsidize it. We've taxed the hell out of it. We've regulated the hell out of it. Now we got to subsidize it. That'll fix it. Throw some money at it. It's like the commercial. I don't remember what they were selling, but they're rushing a guy into the doctor's office. They said, what's the guy's problem? He says, got money coming out the wazoo. He says, money out the wazoo. Get him in the operating room fast. That's the government. They got money coming out the wazoo. Just print it. That'll solve our problem. That is our problem. These people can't figure out why all of a sudden that every place in the United States of America is looking for people to work, and they can't figure out why the job numbers are so bad. Because they're paying them to stay home. So the products aren't being produced. So the employers are now at the point where they can't produce their products because they can't get the parts. See, I can't get the parts to produce my product, so I can't sell my product. So why do I need employees? They're letting them go. Then they go get $1,000 a week unemployment. Isn't that great? Donald Trump in 4 years created the greatest economy in the history of America. Joe Biden in less than 4 months has completely destroyed it. With his policies, Donald Trump put it in a statement like this. Oh, that's not the one I thought I loaded. Never mind. This one says the long, horrible gas lines are under President Trump. The fake news would like to make it a national outrage if it was under Donald Trump. Did Joe Biden put Hunter in charge of energy with all of his Burisma experience? Even Energy Secretary Jennifer Granholm is lost. They don't have any idea what to do. They don't know. The only thing the Democrats know how to do is tax and spin, tax and spin, tax and spin, 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 tax, spin, 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 print more money, spin, 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 print more money, spin more. They ain't even taxing anymore. Do you know that when Donald Trump lowered taxes? Do you know that when George W. lowered taxes? Do you know that when Ronald Reagan lowered taxes? Do you know that when Eisenhower lowered taxes? You know that every time taxes are lowered, that government income increases? How the hell does that happen? How is it that when you lower the price of something, you get more of it? Huh. It's called economics. These people have a clue. The one that I was going to put up there was that the president, or former president, the president, Donald Trump, was saying that everybody's claiming that Joe Biden is the new Jimmy Carter. He says that's very unfair to Jimmy Carter because Jimmy Carter was just reacting to bad circumstances, and Joe Biden created the circumstances. I inherited it. He can't claim he inherited this economy. This economy, in spite of being shut down, was rocking under Trump. I have a pen and a phone, and I'm going to sign executive orders. Joe and the Ho signed more executive orders than any president in the history of the United States in the first 3 months. What were those executive orders? They were regulating this country to death. Tax it, regulate it, subsidize it. Democrat mantra. So the same 17 intelligence agencies that oversaw the most secure election of all time somehow missed a pipeline that passes through 17 states being hacked. 17, huh? You think he knew when Trump made that speech about gas prices? Hey, it's a Joe Biden car rally. How about that? Except they're not all new Jeeps. Just saying. I don't know what the deal is with that. So Trump was kind of prophetic talking about the gas prices. He was also prophetic when he talked about the election. So what's happening with the election right now? Over in Arizona, they're recounting. We all know that. But, you know, the Arizona government, the Secretary of State and the governor and all them, They're claiming that this is the most secure election in American history. And here they are right here. Here's the Secretary of State of Arizona and the governor of Arizona, and they're having a little ceremony here a while back where they signed off on the election, certified the election in Arizona. Oops, hold on. I muted the thing and then it wouldn't let me get to it.
Ballots cast. Okay. Good morning, everyone. We had an extremely well-run election and saw historically high voter participation. There were more than 3.42 million ballots cast in this election, and turnout was nearly 80%. This is a 23% increase from the 2018 midterm election and an 8% increase from the 2016 presidential election. Of those 3.42 million ballots cast, over 88% of them were cast early, which provides more proof that Arizona's ballot by mail system works.
The votes have been tabulated. All 15 counties have certified their results. In addition to certification, with Senator-elect Mark Kelly winning the general election, I will be signing official documentation today that will be hand-delivered to the Secretary of the United States Senate so that Arizona's newest senator can be sworn into office as swiftly as possible.
Here they are, committing a crime right in front of the cameras by signing off, certifying an election. They knew they were paid to be fraudulent. How much money did Mr. Ducey receive? Huh? And who did he receive it from? You know, the thing is about that, we're going to find out very soon. That's going to come out. And it won't be very good. It will not be very good for these people when all this starts coming out. Now, the most secure election in American history, they just said it right on there. Well, here's a little video that begs to differ on that. And I muted it again. Hold on, doggone it. I get things in order. I'm going to speed this up.
What I'd like to talk about is comments that were made to me by a Dominion employee around chain of custody and what I would discuss or describe as the ability of fluidity or porous administration on the system. I was an observer at MTech on 10/24, and then again a week later on Sunday, 11/1 before Election Day. I was in the area where they were doing adjudication work, and then later on the Sunday the 11th, Sunday the 1st, they were also doing ballot feeding and tabulation. What I observed in there was the Dominion computer system in what's described as a caged glassed area. There were several Canon scanners in there, as well as what I'd call two rather large bulk ballot processing machines, which are essentially OCR, optical code recognition scanners. I interacted with several supervisors. I will not mention their names here today, most of which are just my first name basis, and that was either inside or outside that room. What's most important is I had an opportunity to speak to a gentleman whose name I will not mention here, but all I know is his first name, but he identified himself as a Dominion employee on contract to Maricopa County. What I observed was that the machines were optically reading the mail-in ballots, converting the paper ballots into an electronic image, and discerning the voter tabulation data into an electronic format. So on Sunday, November 1st, in the adjudication tabulation scanning room, and in witness with other observer who is here to testify today as well, as my witness, I spoke to this gentleman from Dominion and asked questions on the computer systems contained in the room and contained within that caged area connected to the ballot scanners. On that day, I asked the gentleman how the tabulation data and scanned images were being stored and backed up. It's common practice in computer system IT administration to do regular disk backups or system backups in the event that some sort of failure occurs to that system. The gentleman stated that he would perform a manual daily backup of the system to an external hard drive attached to and within the secured computer bay glass cage as I described. The hard drive was in a rubberized orange case and easily visible. He pointed to it and identified it. I asked what software program he was using to perform the backups. He stated he was not using an automated backup, but inferred that he was doing a simple manual copy of data to this orange disk, as I'm referring to it here in my statement. Then he said he took and made a second copy of that backup, of that orange backup. And then he reached over to his cubicle area and demonstrated a new box of hard drives that were contained in there. And he was saying that he was making a second copy of that data onto one of those fresh hard drives. That then led me to ask him a common question, which was, is there a chain of custody and where does that drive go? He was a little bit vague in his answer, but he said that there was not a chain of custody and that the copy that he was making daily of the master backup was being taken off-site to another facility, and he was unclear to me how it was, but when I asked him if it was getting serialized or in any way secured, he could not confirm that and basically said there was no chain of custody. I found that alarming.
This was testified under oath at a hearing in November in Arizona, where this man's basically saying there was no chain of custody and the only people that had control of the ballots was Dominion Systems. Maybe that's why they're all upset about this audit. You see, they signed off on that certification knowing all this. And when all this comes out, they're in jeopardy of going to jail for a long time. Because if the Secretary of State and the governor of Arizona, and this also applies to Georgia, this also applies to Pennsylvania, Michigan, Wisconsin, and any other state in the Union, California. If they knowingly signed off on a fraudulent election that they knew that there was fraud because they were part of it, and they did this with working with a company, Dominion, and with a foreign power, China, Italy, Iran, Pakistan, they committed treason. There's only one punishment. There's only one crime in the Constitution, and only one punishment for that crime. Look up Rosenstein. If they colluded with a foreign country to steal an election and give the presidency of the United States of America to a guy who has sold out to the communists over in China for billions of dollars that was paid to his son, and 10% for the big guy, they committed treason. I know, you trolls out there going, you're a conspiracy theorist. If this was the most secure election, as she said, in American history, why are they worried about them counting the ballots and doing a forensic audit? Do it. If I knew that I was straight up honest, I'd be like, do it. Do it. I had an interaction the other day with law enforcement, one of my rental properties, because somebody decided to move themselves in and tear the place up. When I called the police officer drove up. I reached into my back pocket. I pulled out my wallet. I flipped open, as I'm walking up to the officer, I flipped open. I grabbed my ID out. I handed it to him. And I said, officer, I'm also armed, but I know you're going to want this information. He says, that's cool. He looks at my card, pulls out his notebook, writes a couple little things down, calls in my name to make sure I don't have any warrants. See, I know I'm legit at this time. He's going to ask for my ID anyways. That's what they always do. And I don't have a problem in this particular case giving it to him. I'm the one that called him. You see, out there in Arizona and Georgia and Pennsylvania, and they're throwing fits. They're going lawsuits. They're fighting this in every step of the way. Why? It's the cleanest, fairest, most honest election that's ever won, ever was, ever will be. I mean, Joe Biden got more votes than Barack Hussein Obama. Or maybe he didn't. Maybe Obama didn't either. Maybe these machines worked then too. Ooh, boy, that would be kind of a bummer, wouldn't it? Be a bummer for a bummer. This country is this close. We're this close to financial crisis. Push over the edge. Hyperinflation. Mass layoffs. Companies just can't make the product anymore because they can't get the parts. Got one more thing I want to bring up. And I posted this on my Telegram page. I've been seeing this for a while. In fact, I've been seeing this for since I started following the 17 stuff. It's always not set well in my stomach, and I've done a little research on it, and so I saw this post the other day. And this is from the John F. Kennedy Jr., which this John F. Kennedy Jr. does not have a Telegram. I mean, he's supposed to be dead. So somebody set this up, and they're sharing it. And most of the stuff that is on this, I scrolled through this Telegram, is straight up stuff I share. But this Sam, I don't know that's how to even say that, but SABMYK. And there's the manual for it, and this little emblem that's on there right there. You see this is supposed to be 2 X's, but that V and an upside down V is a satanic symbol. This is Photoshop. This is not legit. They're trying to attach themselves to the Trump movement. They say things like, the new order of the world is coming. They say things like there's going to be med beds, and I don't know if there's going to be or not, but they're attaching themselves to this. And then everybody's going to be healed. There's going to be no more sickness, no more disease, no more crying. Where have I heard that before? They're saying that there's going to be 1,000-year reign of peace. These people that are involved in this cult, this satanic cult, this psyop brought to us by deep state to infiltrate and confuse. The father of lies is involved here. Don't fall for this stuff. It's not legit. It's not real. Is Jacera, is med beds, all stuff? I don't know. I'm not going to go that far. I don't personally have any idea. I believe in the prophetic. I believe in God. I believe he's in control. I believe he's the one that's going to solve all this, and that the whole world will be shocked, including me, at how he does it. I'm watching for it. I'm prepared for it, but I'm going to be shocked because God is good and all powerful. But the point I'm trying to make here is that this is infiltrated, and this is not good. These are satanic symbols. That little V-shaped little doohickey right there, that thing is a satanic symbol. This whole thing here is not right. And anytime you see any of that, now some of the good patriot Anon type folks who are sharing information on like Telegram and Gab and Parler and other places, they share some of that stuff. You know, they're kind of into some of that stuff, but I don't think they understand what it is. You know, I'm not going to name any names, but some of the people that I follow, I see that in there every once in a while. I'm telling you, stay away from it. At worst, at best, it's a psyop operation from the other side trying to muddy the waters. At worst, it is straight up satanic. Stay away from it. This is the same symbols that Luciferian cult uses. I've seen it several times, trying to figure out what it was, until I was watching that 5-hour video of the guy from that one, not American Idol, America's Got Talent. You know the one I'm talking about? I was watching that video, and this image came up. Not this book, but this symbol. I just wanted to bring that up. That's why I posted that on my page, but I made comments on it. I wanted to explain. You'll never see any of that stuff on my page unless I'm explaining what it is, because it isn't right. Just, I'm putting that out there. I hope I didn't. And if I ruffled your feathers with that, then your feathers needed to be ruffled. And if you're never watching me again, bye, Felicia. Don't need you. I'm telling you how it is. Go out. There's plenty of places you can go and find that mess and all the stuff they're preaching and all the crap that they're putting out there and all. You want to talk about hopium? That's hopium. There. Let me tell you something. There's not going to be 1,000-year reign of peace. When whatever happens right now, what this is leading to is a massive worldwide revival, so that we can have the falling away, so that the end times prophecies can be fulfilled. That's what's happening right now. And here's another prediction. Since I'm on the prediction business and I'm talking about this, God's about to move hugely, bigly, as Trump would say. He's about to part the Red Sea. He's about to change everything. It's going to take all summer, but it's about to happen. But there isn't going to be 1,000-year reign of peace. There's going to be a revival. And it's not going to happen in the church. It's going to happen with these people. You know who's going to get saved? All these Antifa and Black Lives Matters people. That's who's going to get. They're going to find Jesus. The Holy Spirit's going to slam them down like this. It's going to be wild. And it's going to skip the church. And then there's going to be a falling away. And you know who's going to fall away? It's going to be the organized church that falls away and joins with the Antichrist. That's right. I'm talking about you Baptists out there like me, and you Lutherans, and you Presbyterians, and your Episcopalians, and even some of you Pentecostals. Wait till we find out who our leadership really is and who their allegiance really is too. I got a video, Robin Bullock, talking about that. Man, that was powerful. I might do something on that in the next few days. You guys have a great day. Someone's actually pounding on my door right now. I don't open until 9:30. They can get over it. Make sure you do yourself a favor. Follow me on the other socials. Check me out on YouTube, Rumble. Check me out on Telegram. I'm sharing right now. There it goes. Sharing the link. Go over there. That's where, if I'm gone, I'll be over at those other places. Unless I announce I'm going on vacation, which I won't do for a long time because I don't take very many. But you guys have a great day. I'm going to get to work. Talk to y'all later.